Here we are, we have a 2013 Chevy Cruze 1.4 liter ecotec turbo. And they're getting a lot of oil out the exhaust. Now I pressure tested the head gasket just to make sure that it wasn't a head gasket leak. And the head gasket tested fine. And I don't know why car manufacturers are now going to Torx. Everything is Torx. I don't get it. Here's a little turbo. Looks like the manifold and the turbo are all one. So we'll try and remove these rusty old clunkers. First, let's get this intake off. Then we'll get down in here and see what's going on. Okay, it looks like 10 millimeter. Oh, look at that. That came out. Wow. So this one back here we can use with a 1/4 inch and the number 10. And if yours aren't really bad, they'll come out pretty easy. This one's actually coming out pretty easy. So the oil line comes from here to here. So I'm going to, maybe I'll just take it off right there. And that's that line that comes up and around.
Take nothing off. It's like you take the airbox off for the passengers.
There's all kinds of oil in this charge pipe. Yeah. So it's got to be leaking oil inside. No, sweet. Oh, dude. Huh. This has to be off so that you can get the last exhaust manifold bolt out. Under the car now, we need to take off the catalytic converter. Everything's loose upstairs, so we need to get these bolts out. There's one here and then there's one up hidden. And then we drop this down so we can pull our exhaust manifold and turbo assembly out. So that gets that out of there. Then that unbolts, this whole catalytic converter comes down. So I'm gonna put maybe a little bit of a support here just so it doesn't go nuts. All right, let's get that out of there. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna take this off. And then that rusty old thing off right there. Let's see what that does instead. Oh, that's gonna be the drain. All right, that's on the bottom of the turbo there. I think I'm gonna try and just take that off. So here's the outlet of the turbo to the intercooler, and then right up back there is a line for the oil. And I think I can get it. So that wasn't too bad. I'll just try and see if we can pull that catalytic converter away. Okay, we're gonna have to bring her down and take a look and see what we got. Now that we have it pulled back a little bit, that worked by pulling those two bolts out of there on the catalytic converter. We're just gonna take this guy All right, I'm not gonna take that off till I drain the antifreeze. Well, I guess that's easier than having it drain onto my face. I just run it up into there. So you can see right there is the petcock, and then the hose I hooked up. It's actually a gas line. I'll waste $12 of gas line just to not have that on my face. Now that the antifreeze is drained, we can pull this guy off of there. So I give it a wiggle to get it to break. It's whatever corrosion on there, and then you work it down. So this is kind of a tricky spot right here. So I'm working on the coolant line, and it looks like it's just a hose. Sure, it's just a hose. All right, so I'm gonna try and, that's a tough one to get at. I'm not lying. That one down there is tough. Let's go see. So you see that hex right there? That's what I need to loosen up. So it's a banjo fitting. So I just gotta loosen that banjo fitting up. That ought to be a treat. All right, so that's what's gotta come out of there. While I'm working on this, I'm getting very frustrated because I can't see good with my original eyes. And this is all karma from when I was a little kid, and my dad would say, hey, can you read this for me? And I would be like, what's wrong, Dad? Are you getting old? And he would say, shut up and read that for me. And I would laugh, and I would read it for him, and he would continue working on his vehicle. Let's fast forward now. I can't freaking see. With my glasses on, with my glasses off, it doesn't matter. Oh, I got it loose. Okay, I think we should be able to get it out now. Okay, what do we got here? What is that? Oh my gosh! That hose has a little Torx on it, clamping it there. Now I got lucky, and I'll show you when I get it all out of there, that the tubing was free in the nut. So now that's really great of them. What kind of car? Chevy, GM, Pontiac. Yup. Thanks, Pontiac, GM, all you. Ooh, there. See how that fell like that? I think this is the one that was holding the whole show. Holding up the whole show. Okay, what's over here? Okay. All right, so what do we got over here now? Oh, we got, what is that? Okay. Looks like a little wire plug or something. Okay, yep. So this, let's look at this here. This here. Right there. Down. So I need to get this little wire thing, pry that so I can get that clippy-do out. Now we should be able to get this out of here. Now you want to come out? There it is. Now we got the turbo. Okay. It's kind of a pain in the butt. Right, let's get this turbo disassembled. Oh, wow. Okay, this whole turbo is junk. There's a crack in the wastegate. So when this goes to close, that wastegate is cracked. It either needs just a whole new hot side snail or the whole setup. I'll have to talk to the customer and see what they want to do. Now we're gonna go after these, and these swivel, so it's got to be an O-ring inside there. It's got to be an O-ring fit. So we'll pull that apart. I may have to get some O-rings. Let's get that out of there. That looks like it's a copper gasket, and there's a paper one there, but we have 2 copper gaskets in there. So this may be a copper crush washer. Don't know yet. right, we put the new gasket on. I scraped off this surface. And we're putting a new gasket on, so that looks good there. And we just have to make sure we get into the down there into the oil return, and then under here, right here, is a coolant inlet. So I have to get to that. That one's kind of a pain. That should be okay, and then I have to find the other coolant. I think this is the other coolant over here. So coolant there, coolant there. All right, let's get that over here and see how it fits in there. Okay. Oh, look at this guy's gonna go right here. Okay. So this has to go on there, but I want to first get everything lined up a little bit. Find out what's going on. So now we have raise her up and get the oil drain lined up and hook up the coolant line. Oh yeah, that's tight. They're all tight. They're all tight. We got them. So I know I got that one. I know I got that one. I know I got that one. I just finished that one. I got that one. I got that one. I got that one, and I got that one. Okay, they're all tight. All right, that's good. Next step. So, oh, look at this funnel. You guys are gonna be so surprised. Hey, don't get crazy here. So this guy here is a T45. This you don't want to horse at all because that's all aluminum. So you really have to make sure that you're kind of feathering it in there. Oof. You don't want to go too tight as to break it, and I think that's plenty. That's going to be plenty. That won't leak. So that's your pressurized line comes out, goes through, and then goes down into the shaft portion of the turbo. So this is how it goes, and then that's how you release it. So when you want to release it, you push that and pull out. Sometimes it'll come apart, and sometimes it won't. You just have to make sure you keep tabs on that little bugger. Okay, good. And you push it in to take it off, and then you can leave it like that, and then you just push it up, and them little ears catch. So that's good. Oh, I have to go underneath, and I have to tighten up the catalytic converter bolts. So I kept the catalytic converter bolts loose while I tightened up this, which is what you got to do. Otherwise, you just put too much torque on it. Okay, I'm going underneath. Where are we at here? Oh, it's ready for more. It's filling the heater cord, and it comes back into the intake, then back down into the motor, and then fills up the radiator, and then any air that comes up comes to here and then burbles back in. So this is actually really nice. I like it. I hate antifreeze, but I like that. All right. Everything is tight, everything is good. We should be ready to roll. I'm gonna start it up now. Okay, a quick start. Now we're running. We have oil pressure. I'm gonna raise it up and make sure that there's nothing leaking underneath where this is. So far everything's good and I hear no leaks. So that's really good. I'm gonna raise it up. Or let's check this antifreeze here quick. Oh, there goes the fan, that's on quick. Okay, the coolant here is looking good yet. That's just oil I got on there cooking off. All right, I'm raising up. We're underneath them, we're looking for leaks. And I'm looking at the oil return line. So there's nothing leaking up there at that oil return line. And that's really good. And there's oil, or there's smoke there only because the oil that I pre-lubed the turbo with was there. Yeah, so far so good. Okay, let's get her back down. So we have no exhaust leak. That's good at that header. No exhaust leak. How's that oil on top looking? We'll just make sure that that guy there is not leaking. Let me get an air hose and blow that off. First I want to give it a little throttle to get everything kind of spinning. And this is a turbocharger from Amazon. And we'll just watch that and make sure no more oil gets in there. Everything's looking good, right? This is our antifreeze. So if you look there, you can kind of see the overflow bubbling back in. So that's good. Okay, we have no leak down there. That has not gotten any leak. Yeah, I think this one is good to go. We're starting to cook in that new exhaust manifold. Well, that's gonna do it for this episode of What's Next Garage. We got a new turbo, new exhaust manifold because the turbo and the exhaust manifold are all one. And then we put a new oil return line. You should buy the OEM, the GM part, it's 41 bucks. I bought one from the Rainforest site. It did not fit, and it was actually a lot cheaper made. I did pressurize the coolant system, and we only lost like 1 or 2 PSI over about 15 or 20 minutes. So I don't think there's a coolant leak anywhere. I do smell a little bit of coolant, but remember I had to turbo off all the coolant lines, so we're gonna end up with a little bit of residual that's in the header manifold. I took it for a test drive, everything looked really good. I got no leaks underneath. So that's gonna do it. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.